This video showcases big-name running backs who were traded during the 1970s. One was traded 3 times, and another running back was traded an amazing 4 times in the 70s. Which running back trade in the 1970s do you remember the most? Let me know in the comments. In the 1970s, there were so many running back trades that it made your head spin. This video features some of the biggest and most interesting of those trades. The following running back played in the AFC East Division from 1971 through 1978 and cracked helmets with the Baltimore Colts plenty of times. Jim Braxton of the Buffalo Bills was traded twice in one day on October 10, 1978. First, he was traded to the Redskins for future considerations. Then later that day, he was traded with the 1979 third-round draft pick to the Dolphins for running back Benny Malone and a 1980 fifth-round draft pick. The biggest 1970s running back trade was on March 24, 1978, between the Buffalo Bills and the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers traded their second and third round picks in the 1978 draft, their first overall pick in the 1979 draft, along with their fourth round selection, and their 1980 second round draft pick for O.J. Simpson. In San Francisco, O.J. was generally buried under the burden of inexperienced blockers. He suffered a shoulder injury in Week 10 against the Falcons and did not play during the remainder of the 1978 season. In 1979, from Week 9 through the end of the season, he only started one game and rushed for a total of 114 yards and 2 touchdowns. Without O.J. on the field to play, 49ers fans didn't show up. While O.J. was the 1967 Heisman Trophy winner from USC, Mike Garrett was the 1965 Heisman Trophy winner, also from USC. He was selected by the Rams in the second round of the 1966 NFL Draft and the Chiefs in the 20th round of the AFL's 1966 Draft. As a rookie, he led the AFL with a 5.5 yards per carry, and the following year he rushed for 1,087 yards. During the 1970 season, he was traded to the Chargers for their 1971 second-round draft pick, who ended up being 6'7", 290-pound defensive tackle Wilbur Young. In 1972, Garrett became the first running back to rush for at least 1,000 yards for 2 different teams in a single season. Carl Garrett, unrelated to Mike Garrett, played in the AFL All-Star Game following his rookie 1969 season. Like Mike, he too led the AFL in yards per carry as a rookie. Carl had a 5.0 average. He was traded to the Cowboys with their 1972 first-round draft pick on July 30th, 1971, for their angry running back, Dwayne Thomas, who was holding out of training camp in a contract squabble, along with a couple of other players. Within 1 week, Thomas had issues with the Patriots and their head coach, John Mazur. In an unprecedented move, NFL Commissioner Pete Rozelle voided part of the trade and sent Garrett and Thomas back to their original teams. Carl Garrett was traded 4 times in the 1970s. In 1973, he was traded to the Bears for their first-round draft pick that they acquired from the Lions. On September 9, 1975, the Bears traded Garrett to the Jets for running back Mike Adamle and the Jets' 1976 fourth-round draft pick. In July of 1976, the Jets traded Garrett with defensive back Steve Tannen to the Raiders for undisclosed draft choices. Tannen flunked his physical examination and was returned to the Jets. Mike Garrett was a Super Bowl champion. Benny Malone was traded with a 1980 fifth-round draft pick to the Redskins for running back Jim Braxton and a 1979 third-round draft pick on October 10, 1978. Benny's older brother was Art Malone, and they both hailed from Tyler, Texas, the same birthplace as Earl Campbell. Art played 6 seasons for Atlanta, had over 3,900 yards from scrimmage, and scored 25 touchdowns. Incidentally, if you're looking for 1970s running back trades that aren't featured in this video, chances are very good that I'll include them in a follow-up video. I have over 40 minutes of footage and didn't want to make one very long video. On February 17, 1975, he was traded to the Eagles for tackle Steve Smith. Running back Dwayne Thomas of the Cowboys was a key player in their 1971 Super Bowl champion team. As mentioned earlier, Thomas was dissatisfied with his contract and was a training camp holdout that season. Thomas called Cowboys president and general manager Tex Schramm deceitful, personnel director Gil Brandt a liar, and head coach Tom Landry a plastic man, since he was seemingly devoid of emotions. Dallas traded him again on July 30th, 1972 to the Chargers, and while he suited up for some games, he didn't play the entire season. It's said that one man's junk is another man's treasure. The Redskins traded their 1975 first-round draft choice and their 1976 second-round draft choice for Thomas on July 19, 1973. He rewarded the Redskins with 135 total yards and 1 touchdown in 13 games played. The following season was better, however, 378 total yards and 6 touchdowns. 79 yards and 2 of those touchdowns came in the Thanksgiving Day thriller won by Dallas, 24-23. MacArthur Lane led the NFL with 11 rushing touchdowns in 1970 when he made the NFC Pro Bowl team. His 977 rushing yards placed him third best in the NFL, but that didn't stop the Cardinals from trading him to Green Bay on February 22, 1972. Lane and backfield mate John Brockington made a great 1-2 punch. In 1972, Lane finished with the 16th most rushing yards in the NFL, and Brockington finished with the 9th most. On July 9, 1975, Lane was traded again. The Chiefs nabbed him with a third-round draft pick. You wouldn't know it by this play, but Lane led the NFL in 1976 with 66 catches. The player for whom Lane was traded for when he became a Packer was Donnie Anderson, nicknamed the Golden Palomino.